do. Blue moon.
So it's been about 3 weeks since I decided to start making videos about myself again, and I figured the best way to go at it is to try and make some momentum for myself. And then I thought about it some more, and I realized it's not really just with the personal stuff, but with life as well. So yeah, my life has been pretty set in stone for anyone that's been through the post-secondary route. And now that I kind of somewhat have a little more control over my life, I realize I don't really know where to go anymore. I mean, sure, there's like the basic ones like paying off debt or getting a house, but that stuff is very big picture, and it can get very overwhelming trying to knock down a goal like that. So this time around, I want to try and make some short-term personal goals before the year ends, which is just about 2 months, so it shouldn't be that much. I know it's pretty basic, but honestly, I've never really been the type to do something like this before, so it's an actual first for me. And if it's an actual first for you to do something like that, maybe you'll watch this video and learn some things to do and things not to do. To keep things simple, especially since the year ends in 2 months, I decided to focus on 3 main aspects in my life: physical and mental, career, and personal. So I mentioned in the last video that confidence issues has been something I've been struggling with for basically all my life, much like anyone else. But with the last 2 years specifically, I've learned to become a little more confident and a little more comfortable and really feel myself a little more. But all this didn't really start until I started taking care of myself physically and mentally. When it comes to the physical stuff, I wouldn't say I was the most physically active growing up. I kind of just did just enough to keep things at bay, but I'm getting older, so I know I got to put in some extra work in order to stay healthy. The plan is to work out or do some sort of exercise 3 times a week. Honestly, this could be anything. Ideally, one would be much more strength-based, another one would be more cardio-based, and the last one is dance, which I guess covers for both. To be honest with you, I'm not trying to get jacked. I really can't see myself going that hard into doing that to get like 6-pack abs. Losing the weight would be kind of cool, and I feel like this would be a great way to like ease into a more healthier lifestyle than just jumping in all the way. So that's physical, but when it comes to mental, I want to journal more. I've been journaling for around 2 years now. This is my current journal. It's like space. But to be honest with you, I'm very inconsistent about it. There'd be moments where I would journal literally every day for a whole month straight, and then other times where I wouldn't journal at all for 2-3 months at a time. Whether it's good or bad, writing out your thoughts is 1,000 times, if not 1,000,000 times better than keeping it all bottled up in your head. And I've always just felt so much better when I was journaling than when I wasn't. So because I'm a little more well versed in this, I decided that I want to journal every day for 15 minutes straight until the end of the year. It sounds like a lot for such a short period of time, but when you actually really sit down and time yourself journal, you'll be surprised about how much 15 minutes can really affect your day. If you haven't started journaling yet, I highly recommend it. The next is career. So this one's a lot more honed in, and when I say career, I mean my freelancing career. I currently work a 9 to 5, which I'm very thankful for, but I've always entertained the idea of freelancing full-time. Whether it'll actually happen or not is a whole different question, but you'll never really know until you actually start trying. That's why by the end of this year, I'll have a proper wedding videography portfolio. That's a mouthful. So within the last 2 summers, I was given the opportunity by my friend Molly Lee, who does photography and videography and is super talented, and she gave me the opportunity to be a second shooter when it came to her weddings. This basically meant that I got to do the experience, and I got to practice, and I got to contribute to a project without all the scary pressure of being the main camera. This was especially helpful because prior to shooting a wedding, I've actually never been to a wedding. That being said, I now have a bunch of footage from previous years, and I can really try and learn how to edit and get the vibe and understand how to create wedding videos, which is honestly completely new to me because I normally edit dance and event videos that are much more fast-paced. Hopefully by having a wedding portfolio by the end of the year, as well as a landing page on my website that I still need to publish, that'll bring me one step closer to landing my first ever solo wedding. Yay! And lastly is personal, and this last one is probably very obvious, but it's making more YouTube videos. In my last video, I showed a lot of old footage from a lot of the times I've tried starting YouTube before because of insecurities or my environment at the time or just bad timing. I've always found a way to give up after a solid 5-6 videos. I never really made it a priority for me. Like, it was always there, and it was always sitting in the back of my mind, but I never really doubled down. And that's why this time I do want to double down and keep track of all of it. I met someone in the last couple of weeks that I got to talk to, and she spoke to me about how nothing is ever going to be perfect. It's honestly never going to be perfect. But she also mentioned that it's that unpolishedness that makes art a lot more human. I find that if you're a creative, you're always going to second guess yourself no matter what. And you're always going to think that it could be so much better. In the past, that chase for perfection has made me stop because I never really put my ego down. I realize now that I never really acknowledged the reality of everything. Especially with the nature of this YouTube channel, not everything is going to be something spectacular because life isn't always so exciting and so artistic, and I'm learning that that's okay. This video is a prime example. I've been rewatching a lot of Casey Neistat's vlog videos from way back in the day. We're talking like 9 years ago, and honestly not every vlog of his was exciting. Some was kind of boring or very just mundane, but he kept posting. He tried his best to make every single day exciting or make every video exciting, so why not us? This might be kind of crazy, well, it's crazy for me at least, but from now until the end of the year I want to make a video every single week, just because I want to really push myself to do that. This will give me a chance to explore what I like doing, what I don't like doing, and finally just create a style of my own. I know this is a bit of a different video compared to my last one, but I'm learning more and more every day about this thing called life. As of lately, I've just become a lot more aware of it, and I'm so sorry I'm so preachy about it, but honestly, get used to it. I've had this sudden realization of life. I've learned that I want to make the most out of it, and honestly start looking at life like a kid again. I want to look at life with that awe and curiosity partnered with ambition and imagination, just like we did when we were kids. Make goals for yourself, follow through, and then I'll put my goals out here so I will follow through, and you guys can yell at me if I don't. This video is done by me, Ryan.